Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 99 of Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. And today we are answering your design questions. So we love analyzing our analytics to see which podcasts are the biggest hits with our listeners. And one of our top requests is for us to open our hearts and minds to any and all design-related questions and dilemmas you all may have. So we are very happy to oblige you all, and that's what we're diving into today.
We've got a good mix of questions today,
we really
because along with design enthusiasts that listen to our podcast, as well as, vendors and manufacturers, we have a lot of designers that listen to us. So we've got a great question. This is from Elizabeth Concilia, who works for Prospect Design Build in Tampa. And her question is, how do you keep everyone, especially contractors and subcontractors or tradespeople, on the same page throughout the sometimes very long and complex journey of a renovation? I've heard that some designers create the design book, which sounds like a sort of design Bible for a project prior to a hammer being lifted. While I create the necessary drawings for every project, I'm wondering if there's a better, more concise, holistic way to keep everyone organized. What might a reference like this include, especially when so many changes can pop up during construction?
Such a good question.
Such a good question.
I think we could answer this in two ways for how we treat residential and how we treat commercial.
Mm-hmm. So, well, the first thing that I want to mention is a software called Builder Trend. And it's mostly for construction people, but I think a designer could, it's something that you subscribe to. It does schedules, change orders, you can do photos right on the job. So it's really interactive. And that's one of our contractors, what they use. So I would check into that. It's
been really helpful because I think even the client can check in and see the progress of their project at any time. So it's just a very collaborative and transparent look into the project. Definitely. Yeah. Now, in terms of the designer book, Elizabeth, one thing that we do for our multifamily luxury apartment community jobs, there's so many moving parts and the project goes on for so long that we have started to really create a book that stays on site. So wherever the plans are, the architectural plans, they're usually on a table somewhere. We want our book right beside it. And basically, that is more of a visual for the contractors. So we do all of our selections, presentations on Keynote because we're all on a Mac. And we lay out all the selections and we'll explain, where they go and where they're from. And then we also have a spreadsheet that shows exactly every item number, every description of every product and what goes where. Because in this instance, a lot of the times we are buying things and the contractor is providing things. And that's probably where we have to communicate the most. They'll be like, well, where's the sink? We're like, well, if you look on the spreadsheet in the book, it says it's a Blanco sill granite sink that you are providing. And, or it will say.
And the amount of detail you have to put in there is you have got to put the detail. We've had times where we've shown the tile is stacked and they'll call and go, do you want this done in a brick pattern? No, it needs to. So it's good when they call and ask you because sometimes they've gone ahead and done something and didn't ask. So another thing, with cell phones being so readily available on FaceTime.
We do that all the time.
It just kind of helps avoid a situation if they've gone ahead and tiled something and they did it wrong. Well, then it's too late. So,
and I think the other thing, of course, communication is the ideal. It's so important, and site visits are so important. I would love to say that we do projects, all over the country, but to be honest, we really don't. We've gone to Chicago, we've gone to the Hamptons, and we've gone to Charleston, but it's so hands-on and it's so high touch. We've got to check up on these renovation projects every single week because, stuff happens. And what I find sometimes is you have the GC or like the head guy, the head project manager, and he's running between projects. And a lot of the times the on-site guys may have a quick question and we don't want to mess with the chain of command, but at the same time, I'm always telling the electrician and the sheetrock guy, like, listen, here's my cell phone number, FaceTime me if you have a quick question. I don't want to hold up, you're trying to get in touch with John and he's, over on the other side of the town today. So
yeah,
that really, but that software again,
it's called Builder Trend.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's been very helpful for us.
And as you go along, you kind of like, we've had to tweak our contract based on things that have happened. So if this happened, add that too, and then maybe you can, create this book for yourself based on, mistakes that we all learn.
Yeah. And we're always, if a contractor calls, those are the calls that we make time to take because it's usually a quick question. Like Joanne said, how do you want the tile stacked? Or the grout isn't available anymore. We have to pick a different color. We have to answer those really quickly.
And of course, because they're doing it at that very moment. There's not a whole lot of planning ahead of time.
Last minute is the name of the game for some people. Yep. Good question, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Yeah. Question number 2 comes from Kelly from Johns Island, South Carolina. What do you think about open floor plans going out of style? I feel like there's been a lot of buzz about open concept homes no longer being desirable with everything that's going on with the pandemic, with more people being at home and needing to spread out. Will these go out of style or will they stay?
That is such a good question. And I have to admit that I hadn't really thought about that, but I have an open floor plan style, and I know that I've been home with 3 of us in the house working, sometimes 4 of us, and we've all kind of made do. Mm-hmm. I have an office. My husband has an office. My daughter kind of sits at the dining room table. If I'm out for the day, she takes my office.
Yeah.
So,
I thought about this too because I don't have an open floor plan, and I thought, okay, if this was the situation, of course, I do have a office, which is actually the living room on my first floor, which I have behind French doors. But my family room's all separate. My office is separate. My dining room's kind of separate. My kitchen is separate. I kind of like the rooms that are kind of closed off like that. So I don't know. That is a really good question. I don't know if builders have thought about that quite yet, but I think there needs to be a couple of spaces maybe that are just not quite so open.
Well, I have to say my open floor plan is the same in Woodstock and at our lake house. And I have to say we have more room because it is so open to kind of figure out spaces. But I don't know.
But sound,
Yeah, the sound is the thing. I don't know if architecture and home plans will change dramatically. I think the open floor plan concept is still very popular, but I think what we'll see is a lot more definitely small offices built into floor plans, and also that kitchen desk area that we used to be pulling out because nobody used it. It was just a junk dropper.
I think if you're building a custom home, you can totally make those spaces. I mean, there's the dog area. You can customize it to how you're living. So
absolutely. Yeah. But that's a really good question, and one to really think about when you're looking at homes and apartments these days. Is there a really big walk-in closet that could become, a
Zoom room?
A Zoom room, exactly. Do I need 3 garages? Could it be, or 2? Could I cut half my garage in half and make a new space? I mean, it's what we're all thinking about these days. All right, question number 3 from Christy Holcomb with CH Home in Johns Creek here in Atlanta. We all have quirky projects. Christy's a great designer. What is the most challenging project you've worked on recently, and how did it turn out?
Okay. Kelly and I don't know what the other one is going to answer.
I'm pretty sure.
So we might be on the same one.
Uh-huh.
So the quirkiest one that we've worked on is very recent, and it's for 2 women who are renovating a home. And their style is modern, Art Deco, Art Nouveau, very, very different. Nothing I've ever designed before. Mm-hmm. And it would be what I would call maximalist,
for sure.
Patterned wallpaper, colorful furnishings, crazy lighting. So
our friend Holly Phillips with the English Room would be perfect for this job.
Yes. So it was kind of fun because as I was doing it, I was like, this isn't weird enough. This isn't crazy enough. It's too normal. So everything is kind of...
It was so fun.
Yeah, everything's kind of crazy. So we are just in the midst of placing all the orders. We won't install this for a couple months. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but quirky, but cool and fun.
Well, I thought you were going to say the rooftop.
Oh, yeah.
Because
there's a lot of them.
That threw us for a loop there. And we've talked about it before, and we're supposed to install it on February 9th, but the weather keeps pushing us back, so we'll see. But this was for one of our multifamily clients, and it's a rooftop playground that's on top of a huge parking garage. So it's a mix of AstroTurf and outdoor living and a huge dog park and a tennis court and cool hammocks and fire pits and signage and colors and sail shades and nothing that we had ever done before. And talk about quirky. So we will be splashing that all over social media when that goes up on the 9th.
Yeah, it was very fun to work on.
It was super fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah, we'd never done a puppy playground and a dog park before.
The only other crazy thing that we ever did was the mobile.
Oh, yes. That was so fun.
This was several years ago. It was a mobile boutique. It was a woman who bought her RV. Her husband completely gutted it, and she turned it into a boutique for sororities, that she would take this mobile home to the different college sororities. And she would sell like the white dresses, all the stuff that they would need. And so
she did the SEC circuit.
Yeah. We did LVT. We did...
we had little dressing rooms. Yeah. There was... Yeah. Oh, it was seriously cool. Yeah. It was wrapped around with her logo and her... Oh, my God. It was so fun.
Yeah. That probably tops one of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Question number 4 is from Julie Starling. I don't know where she's from. How do I place furniture with a stone column that juts into the room?
Okay, we are working on this right now at a very large home up in Red Top Mountain in Cartersville. And it's kind of one of those, if you imagine a large it's not a log home, it's a lodgy type home that looks out over the Lake Alatoona here in Atlanta. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got soaring ceilings.
What is the ceiling height in that?
Oh,
18?
Yeah, I was going to say more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just massive. And on both floors, there is this wooden column. It looks like a big beam that holds up the
house,
the house, the staircase on the next level up. And so you here's the first and foremost, you just have to make sure you determine your travel patterns. So, for example, in this house, I just made sure that I had about 3 feet around the column so that you could manage your way around it, or decide, you know what, I'm never going to go this direction.
Exactly.
So I'm going to back the sofa up quite close to the column. We had that at the dentist house.
Yes.
They had a column. So A, determine your travel patterns, and B, if there's multiple ways to navigate the room, then just forget about it and pull your space plan close to it and don't let it impede. Hopefully the builder hasn't put it like in the middle of the room or something crazy. It's on the perimeter somewhere, but I think that the one thing I would do is avoid angles. It drives me crazy when people put furniture, big sofas or big pieces on angles. So try not to do that. But also break up your furniture pattern. It might not be a room where you want a sectional. Maybe you want smaller pieces so you can navigate that column. You have maybe a sofa with 2 chairs or 4 chairs.
And of course, there's always the fireplace and the TV to work around.
Right.
And it has kind of helped now that many TVs are being put above the mantle, because then you're just dealing with one thing.
Right.
So,
and we always tell people there's always somebody in the room that will not see the TV conveniently. So let it be. And it's okay to have 2 chairs that back up to a fireplace. You can make them swivel chairs so that they can turn to the conversation or turn to the fireplace. But it's okay if somebody is right up underneath a TV. They can always, lay back or not, or that's just not the best place to watch TV.
Yeah.
But good question, Julie.
Question number 5 comes from Christine Phillips. She's with Viola PR in Green Lake, Wisconsin. Her question is, what are some of your go-to brands for kitchen cabinetry, appliances, lighting, and countertops? I'm looking at a big kitchen revamp coming up and would love to get your opinion.
Great question. There's so much.
There's really a lot, but like my immediate go-tos when I think of lighting, because I think it's so important in the kitchen, is visual comfort, which you can order through Circle Lighting. I'm not sure if that's in your area, Christine, but lighting is a huge thing.
I also I think we've had some luck with great pendants, because to me, most everybody these days has, when they redo their kitchen, they create a very big island in the center. It is the center of our home, and it's where everybody comes and stands when you have a party. And those pendants, or that whatever light fixture you put over that island, is so key. It drives the look of the whole room.
Yeah, it's a real statement.
Yeah, and when I did my renovation of our lake house, I used Hudson Valley, and they had some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So Hudson Valley Lighting, Circle Lighting's always a fave. Curry and Company we talk about all the time, but that lighting is key. So
in talking about cabinets, a lot of time, I mean, we've done a lot of kitchen renovations, and depending on, we've used like a local person who does custom cabinets, Cabinet Resources here in Atlanta. But one of our contractors uses Dura Supreme, which is it's not super high end, but it's a nice quality cabinet with so many different wood species and stains and paint.
I love their finishes.
Yeah, they've got
and
beautiful.
She likes it because she can get her measurements down to like an eighth of an inch or something really, really. She's not tied to very specific box sizes, or she's got a lot of flexibility when she designs it on CAD. So she really likes Dura Supreme. I did Decora. My contractor wanted to use it for the lake, and I didn't want to mess with him because I was trying to make life easy for him. But I love the stain finish that I chose, and I love that. We're doing a big mudroom renovation right now, and they're using Wellborn.
Yeah.
There's so many options, but also there's the guy that custom builds them in the shop, and I just I would just be very particular about the finish, that it's sprayed and that it's
and how it can function. Like, we did one kitchen where there was a cabinet door. You opened the cabinet door. You pulled a shelf out. It came out and then up, and that's where her KitchenAid.
Yes.
That's where her KitchenAid was. So little things like that.
Because it was so heavy, she hated to hoist it up on the countertop all the time.
Yeah. So that was a huge, just things like that. I think that's exciting about doing kitchens. But then countertops, seems like everybody's doing quartz. It's just such a no-brainer. It's easy to take care of. You can put hot stuff on it. It's just great. So we like Silestone, Cambria,
MSI. There's just so many. Of course, marble is iconic, and you can't go wrong. It depends on your lifestyle, and if you're okay with the patina over time due to the porous nature of marble. But and I'm all for mixing too. If your kitchen's large, having a different countertop on the island is always fun. I mean, there's so many options: stainless steel, butcher block, concrete. I'm kind of a safe and steady kind of girl when it comes to countertops, because I'm so anal with the cleanliness of my kitchen. So I particularly love quartz. Yeah. But and then in terms of appliances, oh boy, you know what you need, Christine, you need to do what Kelly did. Kelly was looking for a washer and dryer. She went out to Facebook and took like a little poll. And I did the same thing years ago when I was looking for knives. Like, what's your favorite knives? And there were 3 or 4 different ones, but the one that had the most was the Wusthof. That's what I ended up going with. And people have been really great. Like, they told Kelly, I like it for this, or so that's the winner
a great
was
way.
Speed Queen, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know what? I would tune into NKBA. They're all about the National Kitchen and Bath Association. They've got all the trends and everything that's out there, from Thermador to Bosch to Sub-Zero to GE, Millet, you name it. There's so many options if you want to do sous vide cooking. I mean, there's just a lot out there. But I will say, from experience, talking to our clients, your appliances are something that you want to determine in the very beginning, because you could spend $10,000 or you could spend $100,000 on appliances alone. So just think about that, and then your cabinetry needs to be built around those choices.
Yeah, and the availability of appliances right now is really out
little
there.
slim.
Yeah.
Just be prepared to wait, but you've got time because you're going to do a renovation. So
Yeah.
whatever you do, Christine, it will be beautiful because you are a beautiful, beautiful, stylish,
Yes,
wonderful girl.
We'll give you a little insight. Christine is the PR person for Barclay Butera, is how we met Christine.
Yep, in High Point.
In High Point.
Yeah, at a cocktail party.
We
were
first
at
met her.
Rabbit, right?
She gave us a great little tour with Barclay.
Yes.
And then we went to the cocktail party afterwards, and then we
Yes.
sat next to her on the couch, and we just chat. So
Yes,
hopefully we'll get to see you
her.
again.
She's the most positive person in the world. So I know whatever she does will be great. All right. So thankfully, my children are very good millennials and they watch and listen to us on Instagram. And so when we posted this to our Insta story saying, ask us anything, my daughter Emery was watching and listening. And so she has asked a question, and she lives in Chicago. And her question is, who would be your dream celebrity client and why? Amazing question.
Yes, it is an amazing question. What came to my mind immediately, I guess
Yep.
because I watch her stories and I just think she's amazing, is Sarah Blakely, the Spanx founder. She is totally cool, fun. She's got great style. She's just so normal and fun and easy. And I know she's really into design. She partnered with someone recently with a new bra, using their
Schuessler.
art. No, somebody, that was a while back. She's somebody new now.
Oh, okay.
So I just think her style is cool, and I think she would just be so fun.
Well, and it would be kind of
work with.
fun to watch Crazy Jesse, her husband, navigate the house
yeah.
because he's so entertaining.
Yes.
That would be very fun. I
Yeah.
would love
you're
to
not,
design for
If
her.
you're not following her on Instagram, I really suggest you do. She's
Yeah.
just really fun and such a cool person. I'd
Yeah,
love
she
to
lives
hang-
in Buckhead,
Yeah.
not far from
Yeah. I just would
from
love,
where my daughter used to
love
live.
to hang out with her.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this, and I have two answers. And Emery, dear, my first one would be Reese Witherspoon, because I am a big fan, especially of her book club. If Reese in her book club has a book, I read it, and it's always great. But I just love her Southern style, her sassy, fun self. Her, it would just be a girlfriend time to work with her. And she, of course, has great style with her apparel line, Draper James and James, and so I would just love to design for her. But then the other one I was thinking, what celebrity could we design for that really pushed us way outside of our comfort zone, but it would still be, I would hope, a collaboration. And that would be Richard Branson. Because, he'd probably just want us to design a new hammock for his island that he can swing from. But can you just imagine how fun and laid back and cool and outside of the box that would be with no budget? And it would be amazing. Yeah.
Good question, Emery.
Yeah. So then Emery had two questions. You go, girl. And the second one was, which design trend of late do you hate the most?
I had to really think. Nothing popped into my head right away. I don't think that there's so many things that I really hate that much. I mean, everything kind of has their place. But if there's one that I'm just kind of tired of, it might be the barn door. And when I mean barn door, not sliding doors, because I think the sliding doors are very cool, especially if you use maybe an antique door or just a different kind of look. But the actual barn, unless you really live on a farm or whatever, that's where I think the barn door makes sense. So I think it got the name barn door, but I think you can really use different kinds of doors. So that's kind of what
I like them. We're about to do them at the O'Shea house, but in a with a modern twist.
Yeah. It's not going to have the the cross barn look.
Right. It's funny. I'm pretty tolerant of a lot of
me too.
a lot of things, and I try to appreciate the place they're in and why they're there without judging quickly. So there's we have the trends, quote unquote, that we gravitate towards, I'm probably not, we're probably not the best ones to call for something uber traditional, and traditional is coming back in style. So that would probably be what I would be like. Don't call me for shabby chic.
Yeah. But what's
super traditional.
But what starts to happen is, as you start to see, when a trend first comes out, you're thinking, oh no, but you start to see it and see it.
And then it grows. Yeah,
it
grows on you.
It does kind of grow on you. I have such appreciation for some really pretty antiques, and I think there's ways to mix them in. But as far as a full traditional, No.
Like there's certain colors that I'm like, no. Like I do not like purple. I don't really like yellow either. Yellow is everywhere right now. And the more I see it, the more I like it. And so I'm not quick to poo-poo things.
There's really not that much that I hate. I don't really hate anything.
Yeah. Very good.
Question number 8 is Lisa from Cedar Rapids, Illinois. How do you live with mistakes made? Wow. It depends on the mistake.
It does.
For me. Like if I painted, I've seen this in my old neighborhood where someone's painted their home, the exterior of it like a gray, but it's the gray that has that purple hue. I don't think I could live with it. I think I'd have to repaint that.
Yeah.
Now, some mistakes are probably too expensive to, to fix. I would say do your research, hire someone if it's something you're not comfortable with. I'd love to know which mistake she's talking about.
Yeah, I think sometimes people panic and they're like, oh my God, and it's like, well, okay, are you willing to spend a little bit more money to fix this? We don't have to redo the whole thing, but maybe we could change a paint color, or maybe we could change a countertop or something like that. So I think there's ways around it, but and I would just say hire a professional. Don't try and figure it out on your own. You'll just
mistakes can be very expensive.
Yeah, they always are.
Okay.
All right, Audrey Stillwell from Washington, D.C. I'm considering a kitchen remodel. Where should I spend and where should I save?
Depending on your cabinets. We've done a couple of these recently where we're just changing the cabinet fronts, and that's a great way to update your look. I feel like usually lighting is not correct, and that's where I put my money. If you can get away with the countertop you have, that's a big expense. Change out your hardware maybe.
I would say number one, appliances too. I have black stainless from LG at our lake house. I did not break the bank. I went to Lowe's. I absolutely love them. I actually like them better than my fancy stuff that I have at my other house. I would say we've painted a lot of cabinets. We've definitely painted a lot of cabinets and changed the hardware. And as long as it's done correctly, but changing the fronts is a great idea. So pick and choose, but it doesn't. Think about how you live. Think about what you care about. What bugs you the most, and put the money in that, and then everything comes around that.
Yep.
All right. Next question. We've got 2 more because we're running out of time. Okay. Debbie Chalette from Big Canoe, Georgia. We had such good questions this time. Okay. I'm having 2 small full guest bathrooms renovated, and they both have wainscoting. Should I remove it? Should they look the same or different? Should I do an open shower or one with full closure?
Well, I'm looking at this, and she said too small.
Yeah.
So I probably would not do an open shower in that case. And just me, because I'm always a cold person, I like that door shut. I don't want any air coming in. But if it's small, I probably wouldn't do an open shower.
Yeah, and by open, we're meaning like it has no doors on it whatsoever, and you step into the shower, and it's long and big enough that the water doesn't spray everywhere. But it sounds like this is a small bathroom. I would always do full glass and decide, how many tubs you have in your house. We always say 1 tub at least, and that's good. So if you already have a tub, maybe in your master or whatever, I would not have a tub in these. Yep. Let it be, as big as possible. Have that full glass so you see how pretty the tile is and how pretty the floor is. I personally love wainscoting. I love trim. Too. I love shiplap. I love.
Yeah, I think it's
interesting.
As long as the colors are different and some of the finishes are different, they're not going to look the same. I mean, I wouldn't put the same countertop in the same.
I would definitely take the opportunity to make the bathrooms completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Well, that's absolutely. Give them personality.
Okay. One last question, and this is a big topic. So hopefully we'll be able to teach you a couple of things. So it comes from Kimberly Murray in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. She said, I need education on light bulbs. There are so many now. I don't like the harshness of LED, but they're environmentally friendly and incandescent are fading out. But I think there are different versions of white LED that mimic incandescent, but I never seem to choose the right one. What should I look for on the label?
Good question.
Yes. So it's interesting. There's some rules that we've had to learn this ourselves too.
We really have.
So when you're looking at a bulb, and let's just say here's sort of a formula. So if the LED watts say that it's 12,
okay,
you're going to take that number and multiply it times 5.
Okay.
So that would be 60. So you're getting 60 watts of light. So that's for the wattage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, there's this Kelvin scale, okay, which is the color temperature, meaning, warm, cold, whatever. So there's warm white, cool white, and daylight. So from 2,000 to 4,000 is kind of a warm white, soft white, which is probably more of what you're used to. 4 to 5,000 is a cool white, a little bit brighter, and then 6,000 to 7,000 is like blue, like bright. I don't think we've done anything over 3,500. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. And take them home, put them in, try them.
Well, and the other thing that we've gotten in trouble in is not watching the base. The base that goes, the base of the bulb, whether it be candelabra, A, B, the base that fits in that light. But just decide, I really love white light. Joanne does not. It also depends on whether it's interior or exterior. But that warm light is kind of what we go for with the lower Kelvin ratio. So, but we're all learning, and it's true. There's going to come a point where you can't buy incandescent bulbs in the store anymore. So just get over it, people, and we got to find our way.
Test them.
Yeah, absolutely. So many good questions. So look out for these, you guys. We put them out on Facebook, Instagram, newsletters when we're about to do this podcast, and we reach out to people, and we always have more than we can answer. So we really appreciate it. And I hope it's so helpful. I could chit chat about this kind of stuff forever. So
yeah.
All right, ready? Funny and serious quote.
Okay. Funny quote. Well, this is both of us.
Yes.
This is so both of us. I'm not even embarrassed about it because it's true.
Me neither.
Okay. So when people give directions like, then head north, okay, Lewis and Clark, do I turn at Chick-fil-A or towards a Sonic? Give me locations. I go. Don't tell me north.
Well,
south.
the sun rises in the. I'm just not a directional person. If I put Waze on when I go to the grocery store. I mean, I'm such a loser that way. But they're in Atlanta. There could be traffic up the street, so I put on Waze no matter where I go. But we travel all over. I mean, every day we're in a new neighborhood. We're in a new place, right? And what would we do without Waze?
Yeah,
because we're such losers. All right, serious quote. There are two things that make a room timeless: a sense of history and a piece of the future. And that's from the iconic Charlotte Moss.
That's perfect. I love that.
I like it too. And it really is exactly the way we're really designing now.
Yep.
And what I feel like is the most beautiful design is when your home tells a story with the history of your life and what matters to you. But there's always something a little quirky, a little modern, a little bit new mixed in.
Yeah, kind of a conversation piece.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions, everybody.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. It makes us feel very
coming.
important that you would rely on us to answer these questions. So keep your eye on us, everybody, because episode 100 is coming up. We're very proud. Very proud. It's been 3 years.
The pressure
We just
is
celebrated
on.
3 years this month.
Yes.
So it's a big deal. So everybody stay well and stay safe. And we so appreciate your time. We know everybody's really busy, and we appreciate you listening.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak-Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.